I'm Don Peppers. I'm the founding partner of Peppers & Rogers Group. My background is eclectic. I began in the accounting business. I was an economist, and then I was a marketer. And about 20 years ago, Martha Rogers and I wrote a book called The One-to-One Future, which kind of kick-started the CRM revolution. There's this tremendous disruption coming from the e-commerce side, and the brick-and-mortar retailers are full of stories. Customers go into the store, they look at a product, they go on their smartphone, they price it, and they buy it somewhere, at an e-site. So how does a retailer deal with that kind of competition? Conversely, if you're an e-tailer, how do you do better at disrupting the retailers? So I'm going to talk to both parties about how each can do better. I think the biggest challenge facing retailers and e-tailers both today is the rising expectations that we see among consumers in general. Every time I get well served by a company like Amazon, or Careem, my expectations for the next business I buy from go up. So when I'm having an experience with a retailer or any other company I'm buying from, I don't compare that experience to that retailer's competitors. I compare it to the experience I get at Amazon. And so expectations are rising fast. I think John Lewis in the UK is an excellent example. Of course, they've always had a really good, very customer-centric reputation, but they've had to deal with this influx of e-commerce. And so they've always had a kind of a click and collect program. They were one of the first with a really good program where you could go on to their site, their website, click on a product, and then go that day and pick it up at the store. It's a very smart way to integrate retailing and e-tailing. But to do it even further, this past holiday shopping season, they began equipping their salespeople in the store with tablets that the salespeople can use to look up what the customer they're talking to was looking at online, help them figure it out, and even eventually they want to even be able to allow that salesperson to call down this particular shopper's past preferences, clickstream, and history with the online site in order to better anticipate their wants and needs in the store itself. Very, very smart example of integration. Omnichannel is so misnamed. The truth is I can count on the fingers of one hand the number of real omnichannel e-tailers out there. There aren't any, really. None. Let me give you an example. So I go on your website, I'm looking around, trying to find this particular product. I really can't find it. I finally need to call. I need to call in and get some help. So I get off my computer, I call your number, and what do I have to do? I have to explain what I was just there doing on your website. I was on your website, I have to explain all over again. There's no integration. And it's so easy to make that integrating step. You could have a call me button on the website. For instance, some forward-thinking retailers do that. Let us call you, and when we call you, we know what you were doing. I can have a proactive chat button so that when you've spent too much time on a particular product page, a chat window opens. You have to be careful how to open that window. It has to be on an algorithmic basis. You can't simply spring a chat on everybody who comes to your website. That's too offensive to people. It's too forward. I could do another thing. I could offer what we call a temporary phone number. Some of our clients do that. At Teletech is my parent company. One of the things we offer is a service that when you want to call the retailer, you click a button, up comes a number, and you call that number. But that's a temporary number. It's assigned only to you. So when the number rings, we know who's calling, and we can look at your history. We can see your history. You see, there's so many ways you can integrate those technologies, but most retailers just don't do it. The whole issue of customer experience is a little problematic because for 99% of the companies they buy from, customers aren't buying in order to have an experience. I don't want to experience the store. I want to buy the product, take it home and use it, okay? That's what I want. So the more you can make the experience fade into the background so it becomes almost invisible to the customer, the faster I'm going to solve my problem or meet my need. And that's the ideal experience. It's frictionless. It's reliable, that doesn't screw up, okay? There's no flaws. It's relevant to me, okay? So it incorporates the information you already have about me. It's valuable. That's a value proposition is obvious. There's no trick pricing. And it has a quality that we call trustability. It's proactively trustworthy. I remind you if you're about to buy something you bought again, the way Amazon does. That's a trustable kind of experience. And when you have those qualities, then you have a really streamlined, very frictionless customer experience.